My next guest has appeared in so many stage and TV productions. Among her credits are Guys and Dolls, Promises, Kismet, Grease, Tim Rice's Concert Spectacular Masterclass, and The World Around Us. On TV, you remember her as Rachel in Offspring and as Queen of the Fairies for the Channel 9 network. That went for 7 seasons. The list is endless. Then there's a favourite of mine, which anyone who knows me will know that I love The Sound of Music. For the past 13 years, she has hosted the worldwide phenomenon Sing-Along Sound of Music. My guest is the multi-award-winning stage, screen star. She's a star of cabaret. You name it, she's done it. Chelsea Plumley is in for a brand new variety show called Follow Spot, and she's on the line with me right now. Chelsea, welcome in.
Thank you, Lee. I'm exhausted listening to that bio.
You've done it all, haven't you?
Well, I just want to earn some money.
Well, I tell you what, 13 years at The Sound of Music, the sing-along version, it's brilliant. I love it.
Oh, I'm so glad. It's a very fun gig for me, but more importantly, it's brought a lot of joy to a lot of people over those many years. And it's still going. People are just really drawn to the piece. And I think it's mostly because it's got a real charm about it, a real heart. And sometimes we miss that in a modern world.
Yes, we do. And, of course, Sound of Music coming back into Melbourne in May. So you'll be very, very busy all over again when this is shown and you start to sing all over again.
Exactly, hopefully.
Oh, my word, you will be. Yes, it just doesn't stop. It's my favourite movie, quite seriously. Anyone who knows me will tell you that. And I was born 1946, so in the 1960s I grew up with The Sound of Music. And Julie Andrews I was madly in love with, and I think I still am, actually.
Oh, I think I am. She's just so beautiful. And when you sit in the audience, which is what I do quite often, you hear everyone, the minute she comes out, they go, Oh, isn't she adorable? Isn't she charming?
Yes.
She plays that role so beautifully, with such integrity.
And you know, in her 70s these days, she's still as lovely as what she was then.
Yeah, she's very old school, isn't she? A real charm.
Absolutely, absolutely. We won't, well, people know my age now, but we won't even mention your age. I don't want to go there because you're a youngster compared to me. Chelsea, you're about to go into a brand new show, quite a witty live musical variety show, and it's called Follow Spot at Chapel Off Chapel, starting in Feb. Tell us all about it. How did this come about?
Well, frankly, it's always been a dream of mine to put a show together where it was kind of a cross between a very famous show on television called Inside the Actors Studio, crossed with a Michael Parkinson or Andrew Denton's Enough Rope, with a wonderful music show that I used to love called Jules Holland when I was living in London. And I just love the idea of having an interview crossed with some music, and I'm a big games freak. I grew up one of 5 children, and we just played non-stop games growing up. And so I've managed to put a show together which combines all of those interests of mine. I've been very much led by my own curiosity. I'm interviewing amazing Australian performers who have, no doubt about it, really contributed to, I guess, the cultural landscape of Australia. I'm curious to know about the person behind the performer, as well as what is their unique process? What is it that makes them excellent at what they do?
Well, let's go through some of those actors and the performers you're talking about now. I know a lot of these. I've interviewed a lot of these people over the years. And let's start with them. On my list here, I've got Rhonda Birchmore first up.
Well, she's just such a great woman, very down to earth. And we were talking the other day about what a big deal it was for her to travel over to London when she was 25 to perform in Sugar Babies opposite Mickey Rooney and Ann Miller. And she just couldn't believe it because she grew up loving the Hollywood movies. And her mum, who had many children, was often desperate to get away from them, she was saying, and would go to the movies. That was her release, her outlet, and she kind of passed on that passion for Hollywood films to Rhonda. So there was Rhonda in London with Mickey Rooney. She just could not believe her luck. So it's wonderful, as part of my research, to have these conversations with these artists and find out about the most defining moments for them in their careers.
And of course, we'll hear all about this at Chapel Off Chapel when you get to talk to these people. So, will it be interspersed with song from these?
Exactly. So we've got a song from each of them after the interview, and they've invariably chosen that song because it means something very special to them. Their grandmother taught it to them, or they used to sing it with their sister. I just had John O'May in for a rehearsal, actually, about 15 minutes ago, and the song we're doing was what he used to sing with his sister when they grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, and they'd be driving around in the station wagon, and they'd both be closing their ears because they got confused listening to each other's harmony lines. And it's really quite special, the stories that these people are going to share with us.
That's beautiful. Who else is on the program? Tell us some of the other names.
Well, on the Friday night, we've got John Dietrich, who very, very famous Australian performer. Anne Wood, star of Mamma Mia. Rhonda Birchmore. Then on the Saturday, we've got Martin Croft, who's done every musical under the sun. Deborah Byrne, who I also had here this morning, telling me some very special stories of her cat's days. Julia Zamiro, who you'd know from television, has a rock quiz and also home delivery on the ABC. Then on the Sunday, the amazing Judy Connelly, who doesn't really perform very much anymore, so this is very special, along with John O'May and Queenie van der Zandt, who is an extraordinary performer. She's actually has a very fantastic character called Jan van der Stoel, who's on Australia's Got Talent at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So we've got 9 people who are extraordinary. It will be incredibly entertaining. It will be heart and humour times 100.
Well, Judy Connelly, I've seen her many times at Chapel Off Chapel and various venues around Melbourne. A great jazz singer. Now, is she going to sing some jazz or blues for you?
To tell you the truth, Lee, I actually do not know. We've got a rehearsal scheduled for next week, and she wants to sit down and have a bit of a jam and work out what she wants to do. As I said, she doesn't perform as much anymore, so we're just going to have a look at her rep, see what she feels most comfortable doing.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a fantastic time. This is something that hasn't been done before like this. And to have
quite, no.
And to have those artists, such yourself, hosting all of this and drawing it together and interviewing and so on, it'll be quite an experience because you're a director in your own right too. You've done quite a bit of directing, and it'll be nice to get to the other side there. You've got the mic in front of you, a captive audience. What a wonderful show.
Yes, a captive audience, all right. You will not be able to leave.
No, you'll have those doors locked.
It sounds threatening, but I have no doubt about it. It will be incredibly entertaining, and I feel an obligation to honour these people and their contribution to the Australian entertainment industry.
Look, I'm sure you'll do all of that. I'm sure you will. I've got a photo here I'm looking of you in that red dress where your left hand is under your cheek, as it were. It's almost saying to me, you think you're going to get out of here. I could just see what you're saying. It looks beautiful. It really is.
Oh, so, thank you very much. Yeah, well, that's Photoshop for you nowadays.
That was only the nail polish, wasn't it? The finger shop.
Yeah, it's amazing what they can do. They kind of smooth out your skin and they get rid of your wrinkles and put a sparkle in my eye.
Oh, no, don't spoil it. Feb 26, it's starting at 9 o'clock. Then it goes 27, 28 at the Loft, Chapel Off Chapel. That's just upstairs, I think, at Chapel Off Chapel.
Yeah, and frankly, it's really cheap, Lee. I have to say, it's $30 full price and $25 concession. How can you go and see that talent anywhere else for that price? It's just not possible. Musicals, as you know nowadays, you're going to cost you $125 to go get a decent seat. This is just $30, and I really wanted to keep it cheap because I want students to come along, I want fans to come along, and those interested in musical theatre or basically any of the arts genres. Basically, anyone's invited. It's only a small venue, so it will sell out, so do book your ticket.
Plus, we're going to see Chelsea as well.
Oh, exactly. You do get me. I'm the do-it-all girl. I play the piano, I'll be singing, I'll be hosting, I'll be polishing the piano, I'll be hanging up curtains, but I quite like doing all of it.
You got your CDs on sale too?
I probably will do, but they're a bit racy. I don't know how many people will buy them.
Well, you never know. It's going to be a great time, I'm sure, and it's a great idea. And let's just say again, it's called Follow Spot at Chapel. It does start February the 26th. You can ring for bookings at 8290 7000. 8290 7000. Chelsea, been a delight to talk to you. Thank you very, very much. And can I say in showbiz terms, break a leg?
Thank you very much, Lee.
Thank you, dear. Bye-bye to you.